Alright guys, welcome aboard. We're doing some a little sunset GA flight in our Cessna 172 here with our Air Force livery. Let's jump inside, get her fired up. I actually flew out into Oceanside here just a little bit earlier off stream. Let's see here. We'll get our battery power on, nav beacon on, and I think we're almost ready to get fired up here. It would help if I put my fuel on. Sure, thought it was on. Battery. All right, here we go. Go. There we go. Like I said, I just flew in here a little while ago, so not starting out cold and dark. Let's get everything else fired up over here. Alternator, get our radios on. We're going to get our taxi light on here. And transponder's already on 1200. We're going to reset it for standby. Altimeter is actually 299.2 here at the moment. I've got my sunset lighting in the cam here. Alright, taxi lights are on. Let's get out of here. I don't even know where we're going, but let's find out. I guess we can head down to San Diego. We're in North County right now, so let me go ahead and adjust this. KOKB, Oceanside. Where shall we go? We'll end up at Gillespie, I guess, but we'll do a little tour of San Diego. Hopefully that updated. Yeah, looking good. All right. Make sure our parking brakes are off. There we go. And we'll get on our way here. Should be a nice sunset flight. Yeah, some of the scenery here is a little wonky, so disregard the sign in the middle of the taxiway right there. And we're not even going to bother doing a run-up or anything like that. We'll just take the runway, get on out of here. Okay, transponder to altitude. And let's take a quick look down here. Landing lights on, strobe lights on. Everything else looks good. I will be using autopilot a little bit here, so let's just set it up for do a nice scenic flight. 2,500, right down along the coastline there. Or sorry, 3,500. All right, that looks good. Let's pop back in here. We're ready for departure. Right into the sunset. There are some showers around San Diego, so I have to keep an eye out on them. And there's 60 knots. Go ahead and rotate. maintain about 70 climbing out here. We do have a little bit of terrain up ahead of us here. Make a slight turn here for noise abatement. Got a lot of housing here off to the either side of the little ravine here. We'll head on out right over to Oceanside Beach, and then we'll take a left-hand turn, cruise down along the coastline down to San Diego. Let's trim this up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and swing my heading hold bug all the way around. Went the long way there. Alright, let's go altitude. Autopilot on. 600 foot. And we'll go ahead and hit heading. Look at that glare in the sun. And taking a look at Camp Pendleton off to the right hand side. And Oceanside Harbor down below. Here's the pier. Let's go ahead and make our turn here. Be a nice arrival down into Gillespie Field. It's in East County, San Diego. Using my headset today, so still getting used to it. Get our landing lights off. See if I can drink my coffee and still get this mic not in the way. About 1,000 feet to go here. Let's take a look at that sunset out there. Ooh, bright. Just walked the dog, so it's I'm a little sweaty there from running around the block right before I popped into the computer room here to do this flight. Getting pretty good frames down there, about 112 with the new computer setup. lights popping in here as soon as it gets a little bit darker. Let's go ahead and lean the mixture here a little bit. Realized when I was doing a test of this stream a little bit earlier, I forgot to include my mouse cursor in the screen capture. So let me update that. There we go. So you can actually see what I'm pointing at. Bit farther offshore here so we can get a better look out the side at the beach. It looks like the showers at least have cleared up here a little bit. I did fly out of Gillespie and over to Oceanside earlier just to test all my OBS settings. I had to go through a few showers to get there. Flight there across San Diego Bay. And then cut across, head east over to Gillespie. Coming up to Del Mar here. Mistaken. Yeah, this little beach right here is a dog beach, which I never take my dog out to. Because a lot of dogs running around here off leash. Usually take them out to right over here. Nice little spot by the park, and lots of beach walking to do with them. So we're gonna go ahead and descend down to 1,200. Autopilot would cooperate here, and basically what we'll do is we'll come around La Jolla, come down here along the Point Loma, and then we'll come right pretty much through the center of the bay, right by downtown, and head a little bit farther south before we turn inland. Nice little scenic tour of San Diego. To slow down here a little bit so we can do our tour around La Jolla. Looks like we got a little bit of onshore flow here, kind of drifting us east. Nice little view of La Jolla here. Jolla Cove. And Baby Beach right here. Usually go snorkeling right over there. Pick up some speed and head back down the coast. Matter of fact, I'm going to kill the autopilot here. We'll just do this by hand. A little bit more fun. Go down a little bit lower. Come right along Pacific Beach and Mission Beach. Mission Bay there in the foreground. You can just make out the downtown in the haze there. And a Pacific Beach pier. Or I should say Mission Beach pier. I guess it depends on which side you're on. nice spot to go paddleboarding here in the bay, or in the Mission Bay. Getting a little stutter there. We're going to come around Point Loma here. We'll come into the bay. Not sure why I'm getting this stuttering here, unfortunately. The FPS looks good. Watch my luck here, the sim will crash. Sunset Cliffs over here, famous spot for watching a sunset, although I think we got a better view of it. Look at that, it's looking nice. Can't beat that. Make a quick turn around Cabrillo National Monument. See the point out here, Point Loma. If you're ever out in San Diego, be sure to take a trip out here. It's a state park. There's a little museum there. You can park right here and wander all around here to the lighthouse. It's actually two lighthouses. There's this one here, and then there's one right down here. And if you really want to do a lot of walking, you come down here at low tide and see the tide pools. Make a turn around. We're basically just going to follow the bay all the way in. Catch the sunset here over Point Loma. And we want to stay out of North Island here, Naval Air Station. See if we see any ships docked. We get around the other side there. And it looks like, at least on a simulator here, got planes landing runway 9 over here at Lindbergh Field. like southwest right there. Just touched down. Pop back in here, and I don't see any ships out here today. Got the Midway. I see a museum ship right there. Fly over Coronado Bay Bridge here. Yeah, plenty of Navy ships over here in the shipyard. Well, that one looks like it's sunk. Not very good scenery. Looks like we got a cruise ship here. Trying to get a better look at it. All right, let's make our turn inland here. We'll head east. And we're breaking all sorts of rules here going through the Class B airspace, though there is a VFR route that does take you along the bay, just like we did there, although I don't recall the altitude. I'd have to look at the chart. Got some wind gusts out here. Hopefully we don't have anything funky happen with Microsoft Flight Simulator. The other day I was flying a flight from Frankfurt to Heathrow in the 737, and I was on the ILS approach, and then all of a sudden, like at about 100 feet, the wind suddenly picked up from basically a few knots to almost a direct crosswind of like 95 knots, and it's just a quirk in Flight Simulator for some reason. Look at that sunset. said, I'm looking at that plane way off in the distance here. Where'd he go? It looked like they were still landing 9, so we won't get in their way here. I don't see anybody coming in. We'll head out to El Cajon, Gillespie Field. You are a touchdown. There's that guy. I think he was departing. Right there. See some more of that nice sunset. And Sim color finally matches my my lighting here at the moment. Almost gone. Let's make our turn down here towards Gillespie. Yeah, Chris, that gorgeous sunset. This is real time too, so I'm looking out my window and it's about what it looks like. Let's get ready for our arrival here. Got Gillespie Field right down here. It's kind of hidden by the little hillside right here at the moment. Get our landing light on. There's those funky winds. Yeah, there we go. Don't mind the low fuel indicators here. We still got plenty. We'll go ahead and enter a 45 downwind for runway 27. So we got a couple guys already on final there. Start getting ourselves slowed up here. By the way, that clicking you hear is me trimming the plane here. So you can see the trim wheel down here. I'm trimming up and down. Here's our airport. Coming in on the 45 for downwind here. We're at right around pattern altitude. We'll go first notch of flaps. Enter downwind. Make sure our mixture is rich. And away, you know when to turn. This little hill right here, you kind of go around it. Get our second notch of flaps in. Now in real life, when I would fly here, there was a house up here that had like I think a cross at Christmas time. And so if you were flying in the evening, you'd see the cross and you just kind of aim for the cross. Ooh, there's our funky winds here. As we turn to final, we'll go full flaps. I think it's some of the mechanics for Flight Simulator. They're airflow mechanics that are a little jacked up. They have, you know, airflow over the mountains and things like that they're trying to model, and I don't think they're quite perfect because sometimes they cause yeah, a little bit more extreme wind patterns here. I'm not sure why those lights are that high up. As a matter of fact, what we'll do here is we'll just do a touch and go. Do one more run around, see if those winds are still there. Alright. Flaps up, full power. And get her off the ground again. We'll do one more circuit here just for the heck of it. Just let that sun go down a little bit. There's 1,000 feet. Let's go ahead and make our turn to base here. Bring our power back a little bit. Trying to hold our altitude right here. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit updrafts and downdrafts here a little bit coming over the hills, which is realistic, but it's a little bit too extreme. We'll see if we get the same effect when we're on final, like this guy right here. Alright, first notch of flaps. Now we're back to about 1700 or so. There's our hill. Come around it. Do our second notch of flaps. Aim for the cross. Although I don't see the cross out there today. Alright, we'll start our turn to final here and go full flaps. Yeah, there's that wind again. Gotta kind of power through it here a little bit. I am using real world weather setting for it, so I did find that if you get really tired of having to deal with stuff like this, or if it's just really prevalent, you can always just hop in and turn that off. There we go. Now our winds are nice and calm. Although we lose the nice sunset there. Up. Get slowed down over here and take the first turn off here to the left. Stop over here and get cleaned up a little bit, get our landing light off. I want to see that nice sunset, so I'm going to actually go back and turn on the real world weather here. You can see the windsock all of a sudden started picking up. Alright, we still got to cross the 9 right, 27 left over here, so let's just see if anybody's coming in. I don't see anybody, so we'll keep our strobes on. Alright, strobes can come off now. I think I got the right button for it mapped. There we go. So let's zoom out here a little bit. There we go. You can actually see our plane. And did I turn off my beacon? I think I did. Yeah, there we go. That's the beacon. To the turn in here. Messing around with my my button mappings here, so yeah, beacon is showing on, landing, nav, strobes off. Okay, but it was still showing the beacon off and the strobes going, even though I didn't do anything. Alright, anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Chris, if you take a look in the description of the video, I've got all the specs in there. It's just a new build on that I did just a couple weeks ago. It's An AMD Ryzen 7700X for the CPU, and Gigabyte 4070 GPU for the two biggies there. All right, parking brake on. Let's go ahead and turn off the radios and kill the mixture here. Kill the fuel. Kill the strobes, landing light, or sorry, taxi light there, and beacon can come off. We'll get all the power off and get our flashlight on here. Turn the ignition off. There we go. That's just the tail end of the sunset here. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining in my little sunset aura here. Until next time, have a good one.